We're now going to go on and look at the second of the index laws. So our second law is to do with division of indices. Here we have x to the power of m divided by x to the power of n. Now what happens when we do that is we simply subtract the index numbers. One of the things to be aware of here is the different ways we can write division. So division can be written like this, or x to the m divided by x to the n can also be written like this as a fraction. So the same rule applies. When we're dividing indices, we subtract the index number here. So we'll go through a few examples quickly and then we'll try a few yourself. Now, in the first question here, we've got x to the 8 divided by x to the power of 3. So both have the same base of x, so the answer is going to be x to the power of something. And then all we're going to do is we're going to do 8 take away 3, which gives us 5, so x to the power of 5. The next question is just a different way of writing a division. So rather than writing it as one number divided by another across the way, we're writing it as x to the 7 divided by x to the 4 this way. So both have the same base of x, so my answer will have a base of x and it'll be to some power. And all I do is 7 take away 4 to give me 3. So x cubed is the answer. On this question C here, we have 6x to the 9 divided by 3x to the 4. The first thing we need to do is deal with these two numbers here, the 6 and the 3. Now this is just normal division, so 6 divided by 3 is 2. So that means the number out front is going to be 2. And then we're doing x to the 9 divided by x to the 4. Now again, both have a base of x, so there's going to be an x as my base. And then I'm going to do the indices part where I do 9, take away the 4 using this rule here. So 9 take away 4 is 5, so it's 2x to the power of 5. In this example here, for D, we have again a different way of writing division. So 18x to the 4 divided by 8x squared. So we need to do the 18 divided by the 8 first. Now in this example, we say 18 isn't divisible by 8, so we just need to try and simplify it best we can. Now both of these numbers here are in the 2 times table. So what I can do is I can divide them both by 2, and that's going to leave me with 9 over 4. The next part is to do the indices part, so the x to the 4 divided by x squared, and again that's just using this rule here, so I'm going to do 4 take away 2, so that's x to the 4 take away 2, which is 2. In this last example, we're going to try and use both laws 1 and 2 together. So the last video we looked at, we did law 1, this video we've looked at law 2. Sometimes we're going to have to do a combination of more than one law. So let's have a look at this. We've got x to the 7 times x squared, and it's all being divided by x to the 5. Now because this x to the 5 is dividing everything up here, I need to try and simplify this part first. So let's try and do that quickly. So we've got x to the 7 times x to the 2, so that's x times x here. Okay, so we're going to add the indices. So 7 plus 2 is 9, so it's going to give us x to the power of 9 at the top. The bottom remains unchanged at the moment. And now what we have is we're left with this division here, x to the 9 over x to the 5, which is the division, so it means we're going to subtract the indices. So 9 take away 5 is 4, so that's x to the power of 4. Now I'm going to give you a shot to try 5 of these yourself. So pause the video now, try the questions and press play when you're ready to go over each one. Okay, we'll start to look through the first question here then, part A. And we've got here x to the 8 divided by x to the power of 3. So all we're going to do here is the 8 take away the 3, giving us x to the power of 5. Nice and straightforward. This one here, now we have to be careful with this one because we've got this negative power and we can sometimes come into problems with negative power. So x to the 4 divided by x to the negative 2. So we're still dividing, so we're still doing this number take away this number. So 4 take away negative 2, and remember, this might surprise you, that's going to be 6. Now remember, the reason for that is because what we've got here is we've got 4 take away negative 2. We're subtracting a negative here, so that's the same as 4 plus 2, which will come out to 6. The next question, part C, we're going to look at the 12 divided by the 2 first. So 12 divided by 2 is 6. And then we're going to do the indices part. So we've got x cubed divided by x squared. Well, 3 take away 2 is 1. So that's x to the power of 1. Now in this case, we don't actually write the 1 here. We would just leave it as x. For part D, we have 8x to the 7 over 2x to the 4. So we're going to start off with our division of the 8 by the 2 first. So 8 divided by 2 is 4. And then we've got x to the 7 divided by x to the 4. And again, using this law, we're going to subtract the index numbers. So 7 take away 4 is 3. So that's going to be x to the power of 3. The next one here is one where we're going to need to use both laws. So we want to divide all of this by 6x to the 4. So before I do that, I'm going to simplify all of this by using law 1. So 4 times 2 is 8. We'll start with that. And then x cubed times x to the 7 is x to the power of 3 plus 7. So that's x to the power of 10. And that's over 6x to the power of 4. Next here, and we've run out of space a bit, but next here we're going to have 8 over 6. We can't actually do the division, but we can simplify that. So we're going to simplify that down, both in the 2 times table. So 8 divided by 2 is 4. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So that 8 over 6 here will simplify to 4/3. And then I've got x to the 10 divided by x to the 4. So again, using this division rule here, we're going to subtract the index numbers. 10 take away 4 is 6. That's going to leave us with x to the power of 6, and that would go at the top here of the fraction.